I'm standing here today with the original 6-foot Frankenstein poster. This was the one that Eerie magazines and some early famous monsters would have, and you would send away. Obviously, it was $1, and when you sent away for it, you would get these 3 little monsters or rubber creatures. Now, they did have, some of them had spiders and so forth, but this one here, I will show in a few minutes a close-up of it. This is the original tube it came in. As you can see, it has duct tape on one side, not, but this poster, even though it's the original 6-foot, it's the duplicate version. This is the one that was made in England. Now in 1963, the Lowell Toy Company developed, actually 1964 I think it was, they had the Dracula and 6-foot Frankenstein posters. The Lowell Toy Company was located in Long Island. And of course, if you want to see the full color versions of the original, you can see them in Famous Monsters number 26 with the Outer Limits on the cover. The back has a beautiful picture of the 2 posters that you can get obviously for $1. Now, what makes this poster different from that is that if you look at the head area, it's a lot wider. The colors are more like, they're good colors, but it's kind of like not as clear as the other one. Looks identical almost. I said the bolts are bigger. The head has a closer neck. It's not as long. And the more important part that you can tell if this is the original or not is that this particular posters have a cardboard in the bottom. This part of the legs here, many people can, don't really know about it. They think it's already, but if you notice here, if you can see, they're connected in the legs. So I guess England didn't have the same machines, printing machines America had. So you do have that situation. And then up here, there's a string, you see? And another cardboard that, as you can see, I'm holding it. But that's what makes this poster not like the American version. The American version is all one piece. So you do have people on eBay selling this for like $200-300, which in my opinion, I think the cost should not exceed $225, $250. The other poster, right now some guy's asking $2,000, that's ridiculous. The maximum the other poster has sold for is like $550. Again, this is what they call the knockoff, the British knockoff, and I already explained the difference. Now, I would love to have had the other poster so I can have them side by side. Maybe a future video I'll show that, where I'll have them side by side and you can see the difference between the 2, okay? Again, at the end of this video, I'm gonna have a close-up of the, what came with the poster and so forth. The famous Vampirella poster. It was originally drawn by Jose Gonzalez, and it first appeared in the 1972 Vampirella magazine issue. This poster was sold in Famous Monsters throughout the 70s as the 6-foot Vampy. I loved it as a kid because, I mean, when you look at it, oh boy, wish you had that as a kid, right? The real Vampirella. But anyway, guys, I have it here. I'm trying to show as much as I can, the poster here, but you can see I don't want to really push it against the wall or anything because it is folded in a tube. So this is my original. As you can see, there's a tape mark right here for whatever reason. It's got a couple of pin holes in the top and stuff. It's almost 90% in awesome condition, but this is my original poster. I myself have never resold this poster, but Harris Publications in 1984 or 82, they reissued the poster. The only difference, it has the logo in the bottom. This one, if you look at the bottom, and I will just go like this here to try to see if I can see it. I'll actually show you guys. It does say copyrighted 1972 by Warren Publications. It's going to be hard to show, but anyway, I'll show it later at the end of the video as well so you can see the actual. But this is the famous Vampirella poster by Jose Gonzalez. First appeared in 1972's Vampirella issue, and it was copyrighted in 1972. Okay, here I am now to show a close-up of the items I said earlier. Now, again, guys, last week I actually mentioned this bank, And a lot of people have responded to the bank, and they've asked me, was it made by Bromberger, the same one that did the Ghost? And, you know, there's three sources I know of. I read a book in 1980 something, at the end of the 80s. And the book, as I was reading and looking through, I was in a Walden bookstore in the mall. I actually saw the bank and read about it. At the time, I wasn't really looking for this bank. So I thought that one day in the future, I would be able to, you know, see the bank again, whatever. Apparently, you know, big mistake, because I've bought several books and I've looked at every possible book that has antique or, you know, battery operated toys. And unfortunately, none of them have the picture that I saw. And the other thing is a guy that goes by the name of Monster Bob in Universal Monster Army. He had one in the 80s. He sold it, so he remembers that there was a bank that had a hand that came out of the thing. And what I'm saying is, this is not the commonly known haunted house mystery bank that's a wind-up, and it's made by a company called Yon in Japan. And they also made the Frankenstein's hand, which goes for several $100s. While the one that doesn't have Frankenstein's, it just says mystery bank. You know, that bank in particular sells between $50 to $100, whatever, you know, people want to sell it at. But the difference is that this bank, if you look here, it was 7 inches high, 7 inches wide, and 9 inches deep. It's definitely not that bank. That bank is about maybe 2.5 to 3 inches wide and maybe 5 inches long. It's wind up. This is battery operated. Over here, where if you look at very closely, I'm looking for where it would say battery operated, penny nickel, independent door. Okay, outlet, woof, back again. Okay, I don't see it right now here, but it's definitely, this is battery operated. The other ads have it. This is like an older ad, and I don't see it. Like I said, I don't see it. Maybe you guys could see it. I missed it. But okay, here is, again, the ad. And I wanted to show you guys, if you guys have any information that you can help me in searching for this bank, please let me know. I'll put it here to the side. And of course, he's the famous houseoftheunusual.com. My website is going to be up and running very soon again, and it's going to be a working website. Guys, I came across a couple of manuals that I used to sell and still actually do sell, but I haven't listed them in a while. This one here was a famous Johnson Smith company item. It's How to Pick Pockets. It's by Eddie Joseph. It basically teaches you how to, not how to pick pockets. When I was a kid, I thought that that's what it taught you. But what this does, it shows you magic tricks on. So basically, it's a magic book on how to do magic. And that is very famous. It was sold in Johnson Smith. I finally came across the Phaser gun plans. You guys know how I always advertise and talk about how to build your own laser? Well, here is the other one that Johnson Smith sold, how to build your own phaser gun. Now, to be honest with you, this looks like something that I guess Toy Story would use. It doesn't really look too cool. Buzz Lightyear probably looks like he would own this. And here is the manual how to build this model. You know, it's a very well illustrated thing, and it's pretty cool. I've never really read this manual, so again, I'm going to put it to the side, but I just wanted to show you guys the other manual. This actually, I should actually get this reprinted and redone, because overall I think it could be done a lot better. That's the original manual. I also came across this, and you guys know this, I used to sell this in the early 80s. I haven't sold it in a while, and you know, one of the reasons, because it's really not that great of a booklet, but it is sold in every abracadabra magic shop. Johnson Smith, Honor House sold it. A spook show in your parlor, but originally this is more like a published by D. Robbins Company right there. This is more like an item that I think and it was actually stapled together, 8.5 by 11 sheets. I made it kind of like into a booklet. I also wanted to show, I came across this. This is the original Hypno coin. This is one of the, let's say, instructions that came with it. So this one here is original. I don't have the coin in here. It's probably elsewhere, but I just wanted to show you guys how it came. It came folded down, but it is a manual. I mean, not a it's kind of like it has a couple of lessons, not 25 hints, whatever. It just has lessons on how to hypnotize. And this is definitely from the 1950s, 60s. And it would have the coin. Okay, this is copyrighted in 1958. Okay, by the Hypnotic Aid Supply Company right here. As you guys can see, this is the company that originally sold the coin, and then of course Abracadabra Magic Shop, American Circle, Honor House, Johnson Smith sold it. Here is my version, which has been redone with a free hypno coin inside, 25 lessons in hypnotism. You can get this on eBay. I said to you guys earlier that as I was showing you the posters, here are the items which I've actually shown before. The three little rubber monsters that came, and okay. And here's the third one. Okay, and this is the original tube it came in. Okay, as you guys can see, the address label actually fell off, but you know, this is the original monster. That's the original old tube, and here are the three little monsters or rubber toys that came with it. I've shown them before in the Dracula review because I have like maybe 1 or 2 sets of these, but this came with the thing. Again, I wanted to show it up close. I view, you know, you guys viewed the poster, but as you can see, I call this poster a, what would you say, kind of like a Chinese calendar. If you remember in the 80s, you always got the calendar, and they were made of bamboo sticks, and you always had a cardboard top and bottom. Now, there is no copyright on this poster, but all it does is say Frankenstein, because like I said, this was a knockoff of the other poster. And let's see if you could see a little closer view here. How I told you guys, you see how it's connected right here? You see how the two pieces are attached here with glue? This is how you know when you have an original one piece, but you know, you can see all it does say is, and in fact, this is very interesting too. I just noticed the original says Frankenstein here. Okay, this doesn't even say Frankenstein. It says nothing in both, you know, the entire length of the poster. As you can see, it says nothing. And this is definitely an original. This poster, again, was sold mostly in Erie Publications, I think. If I'm correct, you see where it connects right there? Okay. And it was sold through, I don't quite remember what magazine of Famous Monsters had it. I think it was when Famous Monsters had, if you guys know, there was a part of Famous Monster that was called Monster World, where they didn't really publish Famous Monsters for like a whole year, so they replaced it with Monster World. And Monster World is part of the entire collection of the Famous Monsters of Filmland. But okay, now, of course, I took my time here to refold the thing, but here is the Warren, the other poster I showed you. And what I wanted to show you guys is the copyright mark and stuff. See how it says Vampirella 1972 Warren Publishing, New York City. Okay, as you can see, this poster, even though it's in great condition, the artwork, it does have usage. You know, you can see here the person had it. Now, I've had this for over 30 years, and when I first bought it, they were rare. You couldn't really get them much on eBay, so I actually paid a pretty penny. I think I paid at the time over $150 for it. Now it sells anywhere from $300 to $500, but you know, like I said, I bought it back in the early time. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'll put this to the side, because this week I'm not going to review any catalogs, but I came across one of my Universal Monster card sets, and I thought it was, you know, we have to take a little break from the catalog reviews and do this, and I just wanted to show you guys the set here. Now,
The set also came with stickers, and each sticker represents a movie poster. Dracula, Frankenstein, Karloff the Mummy, The Invisible Man, The Bride of Frankenstein, The Wolfman, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, and This Island Earth. These are the stickers that are on in this set. If you guys are aware that maybe I might be missing a card or something, please let me know. Among here are this silver kind of special editions of the card. We got Bela Lugosi, we have Lon Chaney, and of course, I got a mental block on this guy right here, but I believe it's Lon Chaney as well. I could be wrong. Okay, I can't really read it. It's very small. I don't have my glasses. Okay, this is the Hunchback Fritz in the, I believe it is. So anyway, that's the actor. Those came in there. So let me take a quick show of each and every card. Okay, look how the cards look. Here's the Phantom. I'm gonna go through the cards so you can see the entire collection. It's gonna be fast, so I'm gonna go through them as quick as I can. But you can see that this is the Universal. I'm not sure exactly what year this were put out, but this is probably 1996. Okay, so this are, check this two checklist of the cards. Guys, I'm only showing this because a lot of people, I've noticed that a lot of these collections go for a lot of money. And I actually have an original 1970s one as well. And I have another one from the 80s. I have like 5 or 6 sets. I believe they're all complete, okay? So as you can see, this ones really have beautiful photographs. And some of this photograph will be awesome to blow up, you know? So you take a look at that. I believe this is Boris Karloff. I think this, yeah, The Old Dark House. This, if you guys haven't watched this film, get it. It is great. I mean, I love it. I know it's kind of like really, but the set that they used in making this film, we spoke in one of my very early podcasts with Joe. In fact, I think we had kind of scheduled where all of us were going to watch this film. And The Old Dark House, phenomenal film by Boris Karloff. I mean, I love it. It was just right. Here's The Invisible Man, Bela Lugosi. Now, guys, this is only a review, so I'm not going to go into details of all the cards. I just wanted you guys to see what the cards look like in case one of you guys wants to get the set or something. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be selling my set that I know of anytime soon, but you know, look into it because I might. I know that I've actually this week on eBay I put yesterday or the day before 2 items that are original that I have, and I'm going to be, you know, selling in a little while here and there different original items, original novelties that I might have duplicates of and so forth. One thing I wanted to tell you guys, I said about 2 or 3 weeks ago that somebody was going to win the Frankenstein poster as soon as I sold enough of the mystery house. It was kind of like a crazy thing because I started getting a bunch of orders, and here's what the problem is. The people that send the $3 in and they paid it through PayPal, phenomenal. The only thing is I got to handwrite every single postcard because I cannot print any labels. This is a really nice, cool photo. See that? Look at that, the skeleton. I love it. And, you know, let me put it to the side here because I might like to take a copy of that. But as I was saying, you know, I've sent out quite a few, and I know in the future I'm going to find a better way to be able to send out the thing than to ask for $3 free postage. Because it is pretty tough to do the old-fashioned way, and there's no way I can get and print labels off of PayPal because I think PayPal does it so that you're forced to buy the labels from them. Okay, so I'm almost through the entire cards there, so you could see. These are beautiful cards, 1996, I believe I read a little while ago. But you guys can see how well they're printed. They look like miniature photographs. They're glossy. The House of Dracula. This is a beautiful photograph there. It's Lon Chaney with his mistress of Lon Chaney again here. Then we have here, I remember this guy so much, it's crazy. Yeah, well, here's actually, this is funny. There's the sculptor guy, this guy's actual head. It looks pretty much like his that's for sure. Sculpture. Here's the guy again. Oh, wow, you guys remember this one, right? This is a classic. I love this particular scene. I love the way Costello just takes the thing and stuffs back on Glenn Strange's face. Like he goes, ooh. Here we have Abbott and Costello meets the Mummy, I believe. So we have, as you can see, there's a couple Abbott and Costello. Here's Boris Karloff. Okay, look at that. Again, Abbott and Costello. I think this meets the, not the Wolfman. This is Abbott and Costello. Okay, that's not the Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Oh, meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I got through. Here's Ben Chapman, I believe, as the creature. So this whole set has really nice cards here, and I didn't realize that it has such a variety of different movies and stuff. I think it was like, So guys, here I am, almost done. The famous Hunchback. In fact, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, it's not a favorite movie of mine or anything, but it was one of the very first model kits of Aurora I put together. And, it kind of has a little bit memory of me, but I've never, in fact, I didn't like it at all. The kit, it was not my favorite kit at all, and I never purchased it again. But okay, guys, till next time.